Hello, everybody. It's Stu Smith and Jeff Nichols with another Tactical Fitness Report. And, today we're going to do a recruiter problem um, post, I
Slash
guess,
mentor, maybe, I guess. Yeah.
mentor problem, scout team, if you want to put them all into some kind of hierarchy. The way I would look at it is this, you got your SEAL mentor. That guy is typically a former SEAL, EOD, diver. I think they also have some rescue swimmer guys in that because their job is to be paid by the Navy to recruit and prepare future SEALs, EOD, SWIC, divers,
Rescue swimmers, right?
rescue
Is that the
swimmers.
five
That's the whole group
for the
that
Navy?
for
Yeah.
the Navy. That's what they do. Now they have help, and that help is the scout team, right? And the scout team are typically fleet guys who are recruiters who are brought in to help the mentors because, some mentors have to travel, hundreds of miles
Yeah.
in their recruiting district to get PSTs everywhere. So the scout team help them do that.
Yeah.
And they have a little additional training towards that, but they are not SEALs. They might, if you're lucky, they may have had some tech job at a SEAL team or maybe a dive team or EOD dive team, but typically they're not.
Yeah.
And then you have the recruiter who stays in the office and handles paperwork typically. And sometimes, if they're very proactive recruiters, they'll run PTs pretty regularly and get people ready for boot camp and beyond. But, so anyway, that's kind of the hierarchy of the process of when you go to see a recruiter. So we get some emails every now and then, and they really do, it really does show some of the inconsistencies throughout the United States in all the different recruiting programs. And I'm not knocking the Navy. I mean, it's just the way it is. You're going to have different people, different talents, different experiences, and they're going to, want to do different things, for their district. They think it works. It might work, but somebody else may be doing something different. And we're going to display that here in a second.
Yeah.
But Jeff got this really kind of heartbreaking, because Jeff and I really take this, fun thing that we do. We talk back and forth a lot, and, we hope we're helping people, with our communication and conversations about, this process of going from civilian into the military. But this one kind of hurt us both. And I want you guys to hear this, what Jeff says.
So again, just a quick recap of things before that is just understand this is like we're trying to be very, very careful of the vernacular and verbiage we use because, when we say, both of us say, well, he's not a SEAL, when we say that, it's just kind of an overview of what we're talking about, but we're really talking about intent. We don't mean to degrade anyone based off of rate and position. That's not it at all. What we're trying to do is just be as objective as possible and give you basically the overview of things, what's going on. So, whether you're a CT or a master at arms or whatever you are, some of those mentors and recruiters are fantastic. We're just it's a broad stroke observation. So just bear with us on this. So as far as what we're talking to specifically is this. I did a post the other day on Instagram and then also a follow-up video about, are the recruiters helping your performance optimally or are they not? And it wasn't just like recruiters suck and all that, but what happened is it was an unexpected sort of emotional response from so many of you saying, oh, it wasn't like, well, my recruiter's this. I mean, because we already know that, a lot of the recruiters and mentors are having you guys do PSTs too frequently. And that's the topic. The topic is that, but the issue is much greater than that. And that's kind of what we're Stu and I are talking about is that the issue is that, some of the recruiters, for example, one of them are mentors is in South Florida for a particular region because one of the young athletes reached out to me and said, hey, it's good because I got my contract and I leave in 3 days. He heeded our advice, right? But one of the guys didn't heed our advice necessarily, because he hadn't gotten it, saying take a lot of time on the front end to train. So when you show up to a recruiter or mentor, you can take the PST, auto qual, get to MEPS, and be in the Navy in a relatively short window, maybe 4 to 6 weeks, rather than going into the delayed entry program, jumping hurdles, getting into a lottery, taking in this case, this South Florida region is having all of their candidates that are in the lottery do PSTs twice a week, every week. And I never honestly thought I'd hear that. I've heard once a week before. I've heard, and here's the deal. It hurt me. Like, it really hurt my heart, because all of you that are training for our tactical space, military, law enforcement, firefighters, EMTs, you name it. I love the community, because we know what the intent of you all is. The intent of those that you go do is what? Is serving your country. And there's nothing more admirable about that other than like love of family, right? But it's all kind of the same thing, because I love my brothers and sisters. So that's my sort of like wearing my emotion on my sleeve for the first time about this, is just because there is ignorance, not in a bad way of like you just don't know better, but your intent is trying to get people to do your best. You're trying to do your best by people. And then there is this sort of gross negligence, those are my words, of putting your thumb on somebody and go, you're going to bend to my will. And that seems to be happening. It's like, well, it's mandated, it's this, it's that. And it just breaks my damn heart hearing you guys putting all this work in. And in this particular case, any really good work that you're putting in is being undone twice a week.
Yeah.
So
because one thing, Jeff, I mean, up here in Maryland, Pennsylvania region, where I have known this SEAL mentor here since 1988. I mean, that's how long I have known this guy. Right. Great guy, retired SEAL, does a great job. And, even the scout team's good. Recruiters, they send guys to me all the time, because here's the deal. I mean, they don't have time to train them every day.
Yeah.
We work out all the time. They're free workouts where we go, and we just train for a couple hours, and then they go do something else. But what the SEAL mentor does and the scout team does around here is every 2 weeks, they have to take a PST.
Yeah.
And if they miss one, they're like, okay, just take the next one, and they're not, like you said, you got to take it twice a week type of thing. Yeah. So I don't think it's consistent with the entire program, but, maybe this guy's, experiences, were pretty bad, that, especially if you auto qual, there's no reason to have to take that PST again.
Yep.
For months. Or if, maybe the 14-day before you go to boot camp, you got to take it again just to, or a 7-day or 14-day. And then you go on and, you're still crushing it. So,
yeah. No, I get like from the point of this is like, the amnesty comment for me is that, okay, let's say you go into auto qual and you crush the PST. You have a bunch of people that haven't.
Right.
It would be a good idea to have that individual take on a little bit more leadership and maybe host. He becomes essentially the LPO, right? The leading petty officer, whatever, to help those guys train better.
Yeah.
That would be the good reason to keep that individual into that, involved in that DEP program.
Absolutely. You know what? I've seen that happen as well.
Which is brilliant.
I've heard guys do that. I think out in Arizona or Nevada, they have a little.
That's what I did. That's what I was asked to do, because I was at OCS and I left. Then I entered the DEP program again in a different fashion, but they let me pick my date so I could have see my sister get married. 6 or 8 weeks to kind of final my preparation, and then came in. But so I was in the Quad Cities, the Iowa, Illinois area, and I would go see my recruiter at least once a week. And then he finally was like, hey, would you do a favor? Would you lead some PTs? Nothing extensive, but it's more just to keep somebody around to go, hey, this guy did it, so can you. It wasn't so much about busting their ass and working them out.
Right.
It was like, we're all in this together, which is awesome. And so the thing is here's the thing is that was one email I got. I got a bunch more. I probably got 55, 65 messages between emails and direct message on Instagram. And this is the one that really just broke my heart after that was someone emailed me, and he had been doing my program for quite a while. And he had his numbers. He goes, here was my beginning numbers. He was just, so this communication was over a couple months. It was over about 4 months. And he first reached out to me to thank me or whatever. And then he reached out to me, here's my beginning numbers. I just want you to see them. And then he ran through my program, did it twice, or did it once, a 13-week program, and then did a run program. So, and then he auto-qualified. He did like 133 push-ups, 25 pull-ups, 116 sit-ups. He swam a sub 8 and ran a sub, like he was like an 8:37 he ran. So good. He auto-qualified in South Florida. Yep. Same region, ironically enough, right? Well, he did his DEP 4 months later. And taking the PST twice a week, his performance went down, down, down. The senior chief that was there pulled his contract, and he just joined the Army.
Yeah, that
fucking
hurts.
Heartbreaking. Like, I just was like, what are we doing? And I asked him, hey, is a senior chief, is he a SEAL? Nope. Is he SEAL? Or is he EOD? Nope. Is he SWIC? And I was started looking as like, again, here's my thought. And this is something that Stu and I certainly are going to investigate, because I'm curious, is that, a contract is a binding contract unless you do something that is, unethical, get in trouble, anything that basically get arrested for.
Yeah.
I could see them
pulling your contract. Absolutely.
But if you have gotten a contract based off of your performance and you have not gotten in trouble, I don't know if that's
I can see like decreased performance can screw you with your contract, and you now no longer meet the standard. But there is a cause and effect.
Right. And so that's the thing, is like I said to you, is that, Stu and I were talking quite a bit about this off camera. Well, I asked him if he had told his mentor, like, what he thought, because this is 4 months of correspondence, he and I. And that's what I'm saying. He finally reached out to me. He's like, hey, they pulled my contract, so I joined the Army. I was like, whoa. So anyways, he sent me screenshots of the communication between him and that senior chief. And he, like an adult, like a man, said, hey, my performance is dropping because I'm so exhausted every time, and we shouldn't be taking them. And his response was, the senior chief's response was, I don't know why you would ever be tired before and after a PST. Well, if you're given, like our community, if you're putting out there, it's going to tucker you out, right?
It's a gut check.
So
every time.
Long story short, folks, and I don't mean to continue to monologue, is that the solution, right? So Stu, so all this is awesome, right? All this is great. It's good information. All you are scratch your head going, well, all right, well, what's the solution, Stu? The solution is
right. Well,
a solution is.
Yeah, I would say if that's happening to you, I would hate to say that, one, do like the guy did and say this. I would definitely go talk to the actual SEAL mentor in your region and just say, hey, this is what's going on. We're doing this. And he may know that as well. I don't know. But, I would say, I'm sorry, I got to work that day, or, I got to, do one a week at least. I mean,
yep.
If you have to, but you might have to miss one. I mean, I still don't like doing PFTs, once a week. I would say every 3 or 4 weeks is probably sufficient.
Yeah. And so my 30,000 foot view solution is what Stu and I say almost every podcast is. So if you look, let's look at a year. Okay. Let's just generally how my brain runs. I'm going to look at a calendar year. Okay. Your goal is to enter the Navy October 1st, like I did. Okay. Right. A year out, October the year before. What I'm going to do is I might go to recruiter just to go, hey, can I just get some information about enlisting? Just general, like what's the process? Oh, I go meet with you. I got to go to MEPS. I got to get my hearing type. Got it. Thank you for the information. I'll be in touch, right? Just information. That's a year in advance. So you work on programs that Stu and I have created, create, refine, create more, getting better. You're checking numbers. You're doing your own actual honest PSTs to get an idea where you're at. Refine. Well, I'm still in that window of a year. Okay. And I'm starting to chew up 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 10 months of prep. Then you go back to the recruiter and go, I want to take my PST as soon as possible, get to MEPS, because I want to be in the Navy in 6 weeks. Well, through that process, you crush the PST, you auto-qual, you enter the lottery, you get picked right away, you get your contract. 3 weeks later, you're going off to boot camp. Your recruiters and mentors don't have time to screw with you.
Yeah,
right?
that's the answer. That's the answer. Don't delay the delayed entry program.
Yeah.
Don't stay in there forever.
Yeah.
Plan
on that.
Yeah.
In your mind, you're like, I'm in depth.
Yeah.
You're in your own depth. You've created it. You've controlled it. You can manage it. And so then it comes in and they go, oh man, yep, you got the lottery, and go, when do you want to go in? I want to go in 3 to 4 weeks, if possible, from the time you complete MEPS.
Yeah. Next plane trip to Great Lakes. I want to be on it.
Right. And so you know that going in.
And you know what the cool thing about this is that if you've ever been in delayed entry program and you tried to call your recruiter or text your recruiter or email your recruiter, you may not get an answer from him for days, right? It just happens. They're busy people, right?
Yep.
However, if you are on the fast track, guess who's going to be calling you to make sure you got all your stuff ready to go?
Yeah.
Your recruiter. You're going to be hearing from your recruiter all the time because you just made his job easy.
Yes.
And he just got that quota in a 1 month period instead of waiting around for 6-7 months for you.
Yep. You just showed up with a big gift.
Yeah.
Every recruiter wants. They want a person, male or female, that is ready to join military service now. And you control it the whole time. And that's the solution. Now, the flip side of it is the only time that you're not necessarily, if you come in an auto qual, because of the surge of numbers to come in, and that's where you don't pull the trigger. You go in and say, I want a PST, but what I don't want to do and just be, and in your heart, like, I'm going to crush this PST. What you don't want to do is come in and go, have the recruiter go, well, we're not quite sure when you can go off. It might be 3 or 4 months. Go, well, then I'm going to wait. I'm not going to give you I'm not going to sign my name until you can give me a date. Say, if I get the numbers that I'm telling you I'm going to get, I want to pick this date. You can, because, well, you'll be able to if the recruiter goes, all right, and you crush the PST, and he goes, all right, yeah, you can do that. Because nowhere in the instruction does it say you can't take an official PST until you're in depth, right? Some may or may not let you, but my point is that the whole idea of this is be in control. Yeah. The best way to control your future is to do what Stu and I are telling you. Destroy the PST before you make it official.
Yeah. And you know what? There are going to be busier times than others in the year. So there may be a backup. You may not be able to go at that 4-week point or that 6-week point, but know that. Typically right after high school, everybody goes sees the recruiter during that summer, and by August, it's backloaded. You may not be able to get in that August class. You may have to wait until October or, the new fiscal year. That happens too. So, we're not saying that this is the perfect answer for you. You just have to do your research on everything. Your preparation and research is critical for when you go to do this. I mean, think about it now. If Jeff and I were going to look for a job now, we would go to that website of that business or that government agency or whatever and do our research, figure out how to do it, what they're looking for, who to interview with, what physically do we have to do, what, academically do we have to do to prepare for that. And it's a big process. You're going to have to, do your research. Otherwise, this is a life-changing event. And here's what happens. You're going to start overthinking things. You're going to have fear of change. I mean, all these things happen because you're about to change your life significantly and move to another place. You're going to get yelled at for several months, never do anything right. You're going to beat yourself up because you screwed up. And then eventually you're going to start thinking you're not good enough to be here. That's the typical cycle of this journey. It's the people that come in there well prepared, ready to roll, boom. They already know what they're getting into. They know they're going to be yelled at. They know they're going to get their nuts kicked in, when they head to buds. Yeah. And they suck it up and do it. So that's where your mindset is. It really comes down to mindset, Jeff. Yeah. I think, more than anything.
Yeah. And the thing is like your physical preparation, that kind of like, that's what Stu and I's passion and profession is, which is great. But so what we're trying to do is take that preparation of physical, but we're trying to prepare you for depth like that. The approach into the depth program is as crucial, and we're finding that out conclusively, as crucial as how you prepared.
Yeah.
Because again, there's that big fear, understandably, like I've done all this preparation. Now I'm going to go off to boot camp and detrain. Well, don't worry about that either. That's a different topic. Don't worry about that because good preparation will rebound very quickly. Yeah. So, but the problem is if you prepared really, really great with Stu's program or mine, just like what we're finding out, and you're in the depth program for 6 months, and unfortunately, many of them are in a depth program, a mentorship program that's really less than optimal, we'll say. I'm trying to be polite. And now guys are getting worse and worse and worse, and we're going. So we're just helping. We're trying our best here to give you guys some solutions and options when many of you probably feel like you don't have any because you're already in the program. So for those of you that aren't in the program yet, this is our best urging right here to do it this way. And it doesn't, like, we have no dog in the fight. If you do or don't, it doesn't necessarily affect us, but we're here to tell you that if you go about it the way we're encouraging you to do so, it's more likely you're going to avoid some of the nonsense that others are having to deal with currently.
Yeah.
So that's our 2 cents.
Yeah, that's a great answer too. Just decrease your time in depth by being fully prepared.
Yeah. And I know is it Dustin is one of your guys at lacrosse? Is it Dustin that trains with you?
Oh yeah. But we won't say his name, but that's not his name. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We'll say Dustin, right?
Yeah.
He is a perfect example of how to do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Trained with you for an extended period of time, went in, crushed it, auto-qualified, picked out of the lottery right away, contracted, boom. Now he doesn't have he has much less hassle.
Yep. In fact, he takes his 2 weeks soon, and then he's heading off to boot camp.
Yep. So and he is again.
And this is somebody too that had surgeries because he was a collegiate athlete. Mm-hmm. He had to get medical waivers because of these surgeries, so it took a lot of time, to do that, to get through MEPS, but he figured it out, and then by the time, whenever he was finally cleared with MEPS, boom, he took his first PST, auto-qualified, and now the recruiter's calling him and saying, hey, how about this date? You want to go now?
Yep. Yeah. And so that's the solution is if there is a solution to navigating it, it's through giving yourself, not the Navy per se, before you make the commitment, begin to navigate that. He navigated so much of it through research and preparation that when it came time, he was prepared to go.
Yep.
So hopefully this helps many or all or some of you. Like this, again, unfortunately, we're going to continue to encounter this, but hopefully it becomes less of an occurrence because many of you are able to please, folks, those that listen to this, share it. Yeah. Share this information because that's the difference between the tactical space also and the sports space is that sharing information with people that want to get in your pipeline, it won't prohibit you like it might in sports. Like if you're sharing your secret sauce to somebody that's a peer and a competitor that's a point guard in the NBA, it's cutthroat.
Yeah.
The more you share this information with your peers that are trying to get there, that better it'll make it for you. Right. So don't, this isn't your information to hold. This is your information to share.
Yeah.
So,
and email us, text us in this, and, and if you're having recruiter problems, maybe we can help navigate that process as well. We'll do a show on it. And if you're a recruiter too, or a scout team or mentor, let us know. Let us know if we're screwing something up.
Yeah.
We'll get on here and say, hey, back it up a notch, because here's the way it really works.
Yeah.
We're happy to do that too. I'm not doing this for any ego-driven purpose. We're just trying to answer issues.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps. And that's it. Best we can do.
There you go. Recruiter problems. I'm sure we'll see more.
How to navigate the depth.
There you go. I like it.